It's the 22nd day of April 2025. We are in Lebanon, Oregon, in the Mid-Willamette Valley along the Albany and Eastern's main line. And that approaching headlight in the distance is the tender of the Santa Maria Valley number 205, a 262 Baldwin steam locomotive operated by the railroad. The engine is usually steamed up for special events and excursions, but today it has a different assignment. This is a training run for one of the railroad's engineers. After all, not every branch line has a 1924 Baldwin on their roster. It is heading west to Page, which is located near the UP main line in Albany, just south of the Portland and Western's Albany Yard. It will be picking up a cut of cars to be taken east of Lebanon on the Mill City branch. The reason it is making a reverse move is due to the lack of turning facilities at Page. The 205 ducks into the siding at Fry in a meet with the Albany and Eastern's hauler, which is working between Albany and Lebanon this morning. It is powered by the AERC 5957, a former Conrail General Electric B40-8. The engine was wearing CSX colors when it arrived on the Albany and Eastern just a few years ago. After picking up its cars at Page, the 205 makes its way back east toward Lebanon and ducks under Interstate 5. It has 6 high-cube boxcars in tow, along with a flat car and tank car, which is heading for storage. This train is bound for the siding of Griggs, located a few miles east of Lebanon on the Mill City branch, which the railroad leases from the UP. Moving back to Fry, the 205 slowly approaches on the main and will be stopping in another quarter mile. The Albany and Eastern hauler currently has the main near the east switch and is going about its daily ritual of switching cars. After a 20-minute wait, the 205 is back on the move. We are thankful it was following the hauler back to Lebanon. Otherwise, we would have not been able to get a second run by here. There are only a few rail fans for today's chase. Since this is a training run, the railroad wanted to keep it low-key, as steam engines tend to be people magnets. Jumping ahead to Lebanon, we are in time to catch the hauler passing the depot at West Grant Street. Just a half-mile east of us is Sweet Home Junction. The hauler will take the Sweet Home branch and continue east with its train of empty center beams. The 205 will have to stop at the junction and align the switch for the Mill City branch. This gives us a little time to get situated at our next spot, the bridge over the South Santiam River. Not long after crossing the South Sandy Ann River, the train arrives at its destination of Griggs. It picked up a second tank car somewhere along the line. The tanks aren't for any customer, but for storage in this siding. Arriving at the east switch of Griggs, the plan is to back the train onto the string of tank cars in the siding, then shove all the tanks to the other side of the crossing to make room for more cars here. With the handbrakes knocked off the stored tanks, the Santa Maria Valley number 205 begins to shove. Her drivers slip just a little, but she has every wheel turning. Not bad for the 101-year-old 64-ton Baldwin. This crossing sees a lot of truck traffic and not many trains, especially in the siding. The result is a bit of a rough ride for the first few cars until their heavy wheels press new flangeways in the crossing. With the tank cars spotted, the 205 takes the rest of its train to the east switch. With the cars tied down, the 205 returns west on the main, tender forward, just as we saw her earlier this morning. It's back to the barn in Lebanon for now. Her new engineer will probably be back to the diesels tomorrow, a little wiser in the ways of a 1924 steam locomotive. And how many of today's railroad engineers can say they've done that? Have a safe rest of your day, gentlemen. And as always, until next time, thanks for watching.